Okay. I was wondering if the hair has the smell to it, or what's going on here.
It smells like running propane.
Or propane accessories? Are we live then?
You good?
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Not really going to be able to give a countdown. Timing kind of starts.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Here, let's see. Right now.
All right.
Up.
So, kind of the biggest recent discovery in speed tech for this game is something you're really never not going to notice unless you follow the speedrunning scene for Journey to Silius. Because when you run just straight left or right, the game normally oscillates you between, like, I think it's 22 pixels a second, 26 pixels a second, or something like that. But if you hold down the up button on the D-pad the game will freeze you at the speed you were at. So by learning to recognize when you're moving at the faster speed and then to freeze that'll save you probably a good 10-15 seconds over the course of the game, which is pretty huge given how short this game is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty decent. Stage 1, I bumped into something. There's a lot of precise timing, but you don't usually see that. It's probably one of the few places I don't usually mess up.
And this is a Sunsoft game. There's got to be jumpers, of course.
Yeah. The key there is just matching your jump arc to that. Nice.
Oh, I can do something even funnier if I can get it right.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh, man.
Or
Slow.
even like that. Okay.
motion.
Anyway, I better get in position here.
Nice.
Let's see. 5 jumps.
Nice.
5 jumps is average. 4 is really good. Anything more than 5 is awful. Speaking of jumps, I might mess up the one up the stairs on the second stage here. Yep.
Yeah.
I hung up there.
That jump is actually really hard.
Could have been far worse though. Sometimes I get just flat out. Oh, whoa. Okay, hung up on that. That was really close to that pause there. Here's another place where precision comes in. I don't think I got it. Nope.
Yeah, if you get down there at just the right position, you can just slide right through the firing pattern of those turrets.
Maybe something more general to talk about the game. If you're not really familiar with how the game works, the jump mechanics are not like Mega Man, in that you actually have a lot of momentum when you jump. It's not like a completely fixed jump arc, but you still can't really oscillate back and forth in the air. So if you notice him dragging off to one side or the other while he's in midair, there's not really anything you can do about it, which means you need to time your jumps out a lot more than in most running guns.
Screen scroll mechanics are a little special in this game too, because the game doesn't make you go to the left half of the screen like a lot of other NES games before it lets you scroll. So that's part of his route too.
Didn't get that either. Yeah, it's one of those things. If you don't get right, you get sort of hit a lot of times with that.
Yeah, and in fact, the strategy on that particular section is to go to a specific point so that you can just keep running to the right.
Okay. This boss here really starts to hit home. That this was originally going to be a Terminator game, but they lost their license.
With a missile there. Whoops. Nope. Those shots are entirely random, pretty much.
Yeah, and you can get double KO'd.
Which is really bad
if your health
because
is low enough.
because you don't get your weapon energy restored when you die, only when you continue.
Yeah.
All right, here we go, stage 3.
Yeah.
This is the RNG hell part of the run.
And by the way, those pinwheels have a hitbox twice their size.
Yeah.
And that fire has a hitbox all the way to the top of the screen.
Uh-oh. Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, so
nice.
You're invincible while on the elevator, but it can sometimes screw you if the bullet just happens to be in the
Yeah.
right spot when you regain control.
Yeah, and I believe if you die on an elevator and when you get onto it, it soft locks the game.
Really?
It does, yes.
Never had that happen.
I had that happen completely by accident one time. So it's a
Yeah, oh
pretty
yeah, and
good-
you can just kind of walk over those lasers, by the way, too.
If you scroll far enough to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just the fact that you don't have to jump over them at all.
Oh, yeah.
too.
Yeah.
That's something that's not really obvious when you first play.
Oh,
Oh,
There we go. That was intentionally taking damage there.
okay.
You can actually avoid that, but I've never been really good at that, and because I miss it all the time, it wastes more time than it actually saves me.
Fair
Like,
enough.
it would save me like a tenth of a second if I did it. Like, see if this flame line decides to be nice down here. Okay, that was fine.
nice.
All right, let's see how this goes. Normally I wouldn't kill this guy, but the potential for messing that up is so great, and those things are really bad.
Yeah, they're quite persistent, and so if you can't really consistently outrun
Oh, that was close. Oh, I
the
missed time
first
to jump
guy,
there.
yeah.
All right, that's fine. I missed time to jump at the end, but I still have a decent amount of health here.
This
Alright, so it's-
section is just brutal.
Whoops.
They
Ah,
throw.
was too far
liter-
ahead there.
I think there's. I'm pretty sure I see a kitchen sink somewhere in there.
All right,
Yeah.
that's okay. I should still have enough health.
I usually give up and use missiles to kill a lot of the turrets when I go through that section.
Yeah, that's something else. Is that this game? He'd be using more of the special weapons during the stages if the drops were like consistent.
Yeah,
but
or if you
have-
could press the select button or something to switch instead of having to pause the game.
Oh, that was really lucky.
Oh, nice.
But you have very limited ammo, and you generally need it for the bosses.
Yeah. For example,
Oh, nice fight. That was a
Oh.
nice fight.
If you watch the TAS of this game, basically past stage 3 they use nothing but the homing missile and just manipulate the drops to recover weapon energy. And so it just makes actual real-time running this game completely different.
Ooh, that might be a little bit far forward here. Take it
I
easy.
think that's
It's pretty close.
basically if you land on the right spot of that elevator, you can just continue running right while mashing and you'll get through this section without taking a hit. But yeah, no, that was fine.
Part of the music to this level always reminds me of Castlevania.
All right, that was a pretty good first section. About where I should be on health. Stage 4 is just all execution, and there's like 10,000 things you have to execute on. If you mess up the wrong thing, it just everything falls over like dominoes.
Yeah.
Okay, that wasn't supposed to happen. I didn't get close enough to that. See, the other thing is those things do really bad damage to you if you let them hit you. So that's why I was being careful with it.
Yeah, basically any falling object is not something you want to do.
Those are death
those
bits,
are
by the
even-
way, too. It isn't really obvious, but
Yeah.
yeah. Which is good because you wouldn't be able to get out if you
Yeah,
fell
you
in,
can't jump
too.
high enough.
Well, softbox the game, fell in the wrong pit.
Well,
Speaking of soft blocks, there's a way you can do that in this stage too if I'm not careful. So I'm going to be extra careful when I get to that point. Tricky jump here, I might mess it up. Nope, I got it
okay.
right.
Yeah,
Those-
the falling platforms are really, really evil in this game,
They
too.
fall the frame you actually land on them, and you have a very limited window to actually be able to
Yeah,
jump
they kind
off
of mess
them.
with your jump physics, too.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Although occasionally
There we
it'll
go.
glitch if you just if you get hit while over where one of the platforms was.
I cleared it. Wow.
Nice.
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 Did not expect that. I usually don't.
But yeah, if you get hit while you're over,
Okay, let's be careful here. If I'm too far forward here, then I'll get down here and the screen will not scroll down. Okay, that was almost perfect.
Yeah.
And that's very bad because I should take a hit there. But I'm good on health, so health's not an issue at this point. Cool, got it.
Health drops are really rare in this game, too. I don't know if we've even seen one yet.
Probably not. There we go.
Nice fight.
Nope, I missed.
This boss is a champ, too. Because that's all he does.
they intend for you to use the grenade launcher here, but you can actually double shot him with homing missiles and kill him one round sooner.
It's interesting. 'cause
Just don't do like I did the first time I got to this guy and walk all the way to the left.
yeah, that's actually not.
Oh no,
solid.
don't do that.
Yep, I found that out the hard way.
Okay, so this is an auto-scroller, and it's a nasty auto-scroller too, because there's a lot of tricky jumps. And the funniest thing is that I will more frequently mess up on the easy jumps rather than the hard ones.
So yeah, the final boss of this game is the Terminator, and I'd like how he lives in an abandoned box factory.
Oh yeah, no enemies here.
Abandoned box factory that spits orange juice at you.
Yep.
There we go. Orange juice.
And the aforementioned boxes.
If I can avoid taking any damage until the second cycle of the second to last boss fight, that's pretty good. I don't think it's going to happen, but... Alright, tricky jump coming up here. And that's saying nothing of that other jump that I just had a moment ago.
Yeah, that set of two conveyors back there, if you don't get on one of the two boxes, you can't get up to the upper platform. You just die.
I've got to watch it with these crushers here, because if I wait too long, they activate on their own, and then it's almost impossible to time them properly. And they do a lot of damage. There's tricky jumps here. Oh, whoa!
Oh,
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, got to be careful with that.
Yeah, because if you jump into one of the boxes, then you lose your jump height and you fall and die.
Although you sometimes like glitch and land on top of the box.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there is
Lucky.
some interesting things.
Funky collision detection.
Okay. Well, so far so good.
It's important to wait for the screen to scroll enough for those crusher things.
Usually when a good time I've found is when the second one is on, you can start running. All right, this I got to be careful on because I mess it up sometimes. Okay, got that.
Good.
All right, so there's just one more tricky jump and got it. Okay.
There you go.
So now I just got to get everything right here and I'm good. Cool. Okay, I got an extra shot in there. Nope, I'll just take a bullet here. No, let's jump in here and finish it off.
Nice.
Okay, good. So I'm not gonna unless I really mess something up. Okay, take a bullet here to get through these. It's possible to get through those boosters without getting hit, but it's hard and you take less damage by getting shot. So why not? Let's just save some extra health, so if I really mess up the final boss fight, at least I can avoid dying.
Yeah. There's also a frame perfect trick you can do to skip the second half of this fight, but yeah, frame perfect.
You have to kill that first half
there we go.
as
That's
it's
pretty good.
scrolling off of the screen. It explodes off screen and just thinks there's no enemies left, and it's just like, well, second fight, here you go.
Perfect.
Nice.
All right, and get ready. Now. 11:26.
Nice.
Oh, that's pretty
Very
good.
nice.
Nice. Good run.
Good job.
You just watched Journey to Silius by ZakkyDraggy. Up next, Batman by Dexter. Just a reminder, we are currently running a donation marathon for the Prevent Cancer Foundation, whose mission statement is research, education, and outreach for the prevention of cancer. Currently, we cannot accept donations as our tracker is under maintenance, but please be aware that all donation incentives, while the tracker is down, will be extended. Thank you very much for all that have already donated, and for everyone that wishes to donate fairly soon. Just a reminder, we are SpeedDemosArchive.com, the premier community for video game speedruns, which is completing games as quickly as possible through extensive planning, practice, and knowledge of game mechanics and glitches. We also have a Twitch team page, www.twitch.tv/team/SDA. In addition, we have many here from Speedruns Live, the best site to race video games online against others. Players of all skill levels are welcome to join, whether you'd like to become competitive or just race casually with friends. You can go to their front page, speedrunslive.com, for more information and to watch a wide variety of speedrun streams.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Here, let's see. Right now. Up.
So, kind of the biggest recent discovery in speed tech for this game is something you're really never not going to notice unless you follow the speedrunning scene for Journey to Silius. Because when you run just straight left or right, the game normally oscillates you between, like, I think it's 22 pixels a second, 26 pixels a second, or something like that. But if you hold down the up button on the D-pad the game will freeze you at the speed you were at. So by learning to recognize when you're moving at the faster speed and then to freeze that'll save you probably a good like 10-15 seconds over the course of the game, which is pretty huge given how short this game is.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I was wondering if the hair has the smell to it or what's going on here.
That smells like pretty decent. Stage 1, I bumped into something. There's a lot of precise timing, but you don't usually see that. It's probably one of the few places I don't usually mess up.
And this is a Sunsoft game. There's got to be jumpers, of course.
Yeah. The key there is just matching your jump arc to them. Nice.
Oh, I can do something even funnier if I can get it right.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh, man.
Or,
Or propane accessories. Are we live then?
you good?
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Not really going to be able to give a countdown. Timing kind of starts
Yeah.